There were 27 shootings at schools in January 2024. And I know that everybody doesn't have time to read a 1,000-word article about it. So I'm going to give you a rundown of what happened. January 1st in Louisiana, a man with an AR-15 and a handgun fired 100 rounds on a school campus. January 3rd in Virginia, a teenage girl was shot in the parking lot of a school. It was a 15-year-old boy that shot her during a basketball tournament. January 3rd in Tennessee, there were students sitting in their elementary school classroom when a bullet went through the window and struck the wall of the room. The next day in Iowa, there was a planned attack at Perry High School. That was a student with a shotgun and a pistol who started firing in the cafeteria on the first day back from winter break. January 8th in California, there were shots fired in the visitor parking lot during classes. January 8th in Mississippi, a student was shot in the back while they were getting off the school bus. This was a planned ambush. January 9th in Texas, when staff arrived at the school at 7 a.m., they found a murder victim right next to the door, and there were shell casings all over the parking lot. They had to quickly send a message to parents to make sure that students didn't arrive and see the crime scene, and they ended up locking the school down while it was investigated. January 10th in Washington, very serious incident. There aren't a lot of details, but a student pointed a rifle at the SRO in the school parking lot, and the school went on lockdown. Somehow the situation was negotiated without any shots fired, but after the school was locked down, all of the other students were bused to an alternate location. January 11th in Louisiana, a student was killed. Another student was wounded during a shooting at a basketball game. January 11th in Florida, a student was shot 5 times during a fight at a high school basketball game, and the mother reported that this student had been bullied, and when he was attacked by a group of students at that game, then he opened fire and critically wounded one of them. January 12th in Ohio, a man was shot in the school parking lot during classes. This was at a school that has a shared campus that's both a rec center and an elementary school. January 12th in Oklahoma, a student fired a gun inside the school bathroom during morning classes. January 13th in Indiana, a teen was fatally shot in the school parking lot. January 17th in Maryland, a staff member who was plowing snow at the school was fatally shot. January 17th in Indiana, a student fired a gun in the bathroom during morning classes. January 17th in Virginia, police were called for a man who was threatening suicide with a gun outside of the school. Luckily, that school was closed due to a cold weather emergency that day. January 18th in Minnesota, a man at a school event accidentally shot himself in the leg. He was a concealed carry holder. January 12th in Illinois, a student was killed and his older brother was wounded. They were on the steps of the school waiting for an Uber after a basketball game. January 24th in Tennessee, a parent at an elementary school was fatally shot during pickup. There were other students, staff, parents there when the fatal shooting happened. January 24th in Alabama, an adult family member was involved in a fight with students and fired shots into the air. January 26th in Illinois, 2 students were ambushed by masked gunmen when they left the school. January 29th in Texas, a 17-year-old student had an AK-47 and a pistol, and he shot a classmate in the school parking lot during lunch and then ran him over with his car. January 30th in Alabama, a 16-year-old female student shot at a 15-year-old inside the school during a dispute. She grazed him, and the bullet ended up wounding another student. January 30th in California, a 17-year-old student was out in the parking lot when he was approached by a 14-year-old student who shot him. January 30th in Indiana, 12 shots fired in the school parking lot during a fight at a high school basketball game. All those shots missed. January 30th in Tennessee, there were 2 teenagers that were shot during a fight. There were 2 teenagers that fired shots during a fight outside of a high school basketball game. Nobody was injured. And then January 31st in Illinois, a student was killed, another student was critically injured, and a third sustained serious injuries when they were ambushed by multiple gunmen when they left the school at dismissal. So a number of very serious shooting incidents at the schools. There was also a major averted shooting plot where a student and his father had homemade guns, ammunition, explosives, rocket-propelled grenades, and there was a planned attack at the school the next morning in San Diego when police averted it. So a lot of serious situations. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Substack. The link is below. I put out information twice a week about all of these incidents. Thank you.